Impossible to know how many Israeli hostages are still alive, says Hamas official.
Here's a summary of the article.
A Hamas official has demanded 6,000 Palestinian men and women detained in Israel's jails be released in exchange for hostages in Gaza. Khalid Meshal, head of Hamas Diaspora Office, said the hostages include high-ranking officers from the Israeli Defense Forces Gaza Division, which is responsible for patrolling around the Gaza Strip. In other key developments, Hamas denies Israel's claim it had resumed water supplies to Gaza. The head of Israel's intelligence agency admits it failed to deter Hamas's attack. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken returns to Israel after six-country tour. The UN warns fuel at all hospitals across Gaza Strip is running out. The Israel Defense Forces said it killed a Hamas commander in an airstrike. Rishi Sunak says 6 Britons were killed in Hamas raid on Israel and 10 others are missing. He also pledged an extra £10 million in aid to help Palestinian civilians. Israel is expected to invade Gaza in the coming days in a mission to wipe out Hamas, which governs the besieged Palestinian territory. U.S. President Joe Biden also said in an interview that Hamas should be eliminated, but warned it would be a mistake for Israel to occupy Gaza, calling instead for a two-state solution. In Israel, more than 1,400 people have been killed since Hamas carried out its attack on Israel on 7 October. A Hamas government spokesperson said 2,808 Palestinians had been killed and another 10,850 wounded in retaliatory attacks by Israel.
This post received a score of 7,800, with an upvote ratio of 93%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
If you take someone hostage but don't actually track if they're even alive, they don't sound like much of a hostage.
They're probably not alive. But considering Hamas has eschewed digital communication because Israel is really good at intercepting it, I can see how not knowing the status of all of the hostages could be the truth.
They said they would kill 1 hostage for each bomb dropped on Gaza. That was 5,000 bombs ago.
If I had to guess, they probably murdered anyone who didn't have some kind of value as leverage beyond being a civilian within days. I don't expect any hostage of a terrorist organization to get even bare-bones prisoner of war treatment.
Nearly all of the attackers were bloodthirsty terrorists. They didn't want hostages. They didn't want to negotiate. They wanted to murder innocent people.
There's clips of them marching hostages for their films, and those same hostages are found dead 10 meters down the road after their recording was done. They were photo ops cast aside.
They literally tortured and beheaded people when they had time. The music festival was a slaughter because a military response came quickly. However, they had hours and hours in some kibbutz and just completely wiped people out. They literally shot a grandma to death, then posted that to her Facebook account. Just inhuman levels of cruelty.
Release them and we'll count them for you.
Release them now and let the world see the true extent of your inhumanity. The lives of these hostages are not bargaining chips, they are human beings who deserve to be freed immediately.
This business will get out of control. It will get out of control and we'll be lucky to live through it.
One ping only.
Cardaful, Ryan Mosh Shings in Heder don't react too well to bullish.
Yeah, like me, I don't react well to bullets.
Hamas was a victim of their own success here. If they had killed 50 Israeli civilians and abducted 10, they would have a strong negotiating position. They could get prisoners released and maybe some action on settlers. But by killing 1,500 and abducting 200, the scale of it is now existential for Israel. The size of the demands Hamas needs to make in order to not look weak become impossible for Israel to countenance, because the survival of the 9 million need to come first. So I think these hostages are doomed, sadly.
Agreed. Hamas rewrote the rules of terrorism by following ISIS. There's no negotiating with that. Israel cannot allow this to happen ever again.
The attack simply reminded me of the Mumbai attacks in 2008. You can clearly appreciate the restraint utilized by India at that point. This attack on Israel is 5 times larger. It's just utterly crazy that someone did this knowing the consequences.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.